Anybody here like Hollow Knight? Anyone? At the start, in the depths of a world, is a darkness known as the Void. Bugs hailed this darkness, but then there was a light, the Radiance, and so Bugs left the darkness and started hailing this god of light. They built shrines, gave gifts to this god. This is when a man with a vision came into play, the Pale King. This king created the Kingdom of Hollowness, united it. He built stag stations and trams to make it easier to traverse Hollowness, and within no time it became a bustling kingdom, with adventurers and bugs alike coming from lands far away. Because of all this, the Radiance's followers left them and went to the Pale King. The Radiance did not take kindly to this though, and so began the infection. To overtake the Pale King's kingdom, she invaded the dreams of the citizens, promising a power if they joined, but this was not true. After accepting the offer, they would lose their brains and become mindless, violent husks, a shell of their former self. This infection spread throughout the kingdom, and news got to the Pale King. He needs to seal this infection, so he creates many offspring in an attempt to create the perfect vessel. It took many attempts, but at last, the perfect vessel is born. This vessel is nurtured by the Pale King, raised to contain the infection, and at last, a plan is created. They will seal the infection in the perfect vessel, and this vessel will be put in the Temple of the Black Egg. A seal will be put into this temple. The seal needs to be enforced by 3 selected dreamers. These dreamers will be put in an eternal sleep, and so the Pale King seals the perfect vessel, and the dreamers go into their rest. It doesn't work. Hollowness doesn't go back to the way it was, and why? Because the perfect vessel wasn't perfect. While being nurtured by the Pale King, this vessel developed a connection to him, and he was no longer empty. Hollow, if you will, and therefore he had thoughts for the Radiance to invade. The plan failed, and so Hollowness crumbled. The stag stations were shut down as well as the trams, and all the areas were closed off, no longer letting adventurers pass freely through the kingdom anymore. The Radiance won. Years later, one of the king's discarded offspring gets a vision. They see that the seal is failing, and so they travel to Hollowness to finally put a stop to the Radiance. Okay, so this is where we are when the game starts. So you should know everything that happens next, since the rest of the story is just the game, but I'll go through the important moments. Before we start though, I need to explain something. Remember this, please. It makes the story way less confusing. This is the knight. This is the Hollow Knight. Got it? Okay, let's go. The knight starts his journey in Dirtmouth, meeting with the townspeople, and he opens up the stag station. Later in the story, you will meet with Hornet, the daughter of one of the dreamers, but also the knight's stepsister. The Pale King is the father of both. Later, the knight unlocks the dream now. This is how he can wake up the dreamers and break the seal. So he does that. He breaks all the dreamers out of their sleep, and this starts the beginning of the end. This is the final battle. The knight against one of his siblings. The pure vessel? No. The Hollow Knight. Okay. There are multiple endings, and I'd love to mark this video down for watch minutes, but the truth is, all of the endings could be its own video. But I don't want to make you all wait for part 2, so compromise. I'll speedrun the endings. If you guys want an in-depth video for the ending, comment down below and like. So, here we go. Ending 1. The Hollow Knight. The knight takes down the Hollow Knight and becomes the next vessel, since the knight has no emotion and no thought the Radiance is sealed. Ending 2. Sealed siblings. On the verge of beating the Hollow Knight, Hornet comes to help and holds the Hollow Knight back. The knight defeats him, but in the process Hornet is knocked out. The Hollow Knight is sealed, but Hornet's still knocked out in the temple, so she becomes a dreamer. Side note, don't know if any of you guys care, but this is my favorite ending. Ending 3. Dream no more. While Hornet holds back the Hollow Knight, the knight hits it with the dream now, going into its mind. In the mind, it fights and defeats the Radiance once and for all. In the process, though, the knight dies, Hornet seeing their cracked mask on the floor. The Radiance is gone, once and for all. Ending 4. Embrace the Void. The same thing happens as ending 3, but when fighting the Radiance, the knight breaks out of their shell and becomes the Void, destroying the Radiance in Godhome. We also see the knight, or what's left, kill Godseeker. The void consumes him, he dies. Something is different though. We cut back to the Temple with the Black Egg, where we see Hornet ready herself to fight the Pure Vessel. Ending 5. The Delicate Flower. Exact same thing as ending 4, but because of the Delicate Flower, Godseeker doesn't become consumed by the void. The Grim Troop enters Hollowness when the night begins its ritual by slapping this guy with the dream nail, then breaking this lantern thing. When heading back to Dirtmouth, there are these new tents. These tents belong to the Grim Troop, which is some cult circus thing that travels from place to place feeding the Nightmare Heart. Okay, edgy much? If you go into the small tent first, you'll meet Divine. She will upgrade your fragile charms to unbreakable for the low price of 9,000, 12,000, and 15,000 geo. The amount of geo farming this took me to do was ridiculous. Trust me though, the charms are worth it. When you go to the other tent, you meet True Master Grim, and he gives you the gift of parenthood? Once given the Grim Child Charm, you are told to seek out the flames on your map, and once you collect 3, nothing happens. Oh wait, Grim Child changes. Aw, they grow up so fast. But we don't have time for that because we have 3 more flames to feed our child. Once you get 3 more flames, this time Grim wants to dance with you. And by dance, I mean fight you, because of course he does. Once you do that, you are awarded with the Charm Notch, but more importantly, Grim Child changes again. We only need 3 more of these stupid flames now. We get the last 3 flames, but when we go back, Grim is asleep. You know what that means, Dream Nail time! Oh, it's just another easy dream boss. Is that a title card? Shit. This is Nightmare King Grim. Along with the fancy new look, he gains the ability to kick your ass. But have no fear, Brum is near. If you're a coward, you and Brum banish the Grim Troop. But if you do this, you can no longer gain the Unbreakable Charms. Let's go over the first ending, because I know you chose the coward's way out. What? What do you mean you lost, Grim Child? Well, shoot. Yeah, so by banishing the Grim Troop, the Grim Child is also banished. When you return to Dirtmouth, Brum's got a new name, Nim, and he gives you your replacement charm for Grim Child. But we all know Grim Child can never be replaced. Amazing Grace. Moving on to the endings that the real ones got. If you beat Nightmare King Grim, his tent disappears, and your reward for this incredibly difficult boss? Nothing. Yeah, you get nothing. But you get to keep Grim Child, so absolutely worth it. This Grim Child will grow up and become the next Grim, and the cycle of the Grim Troop continues. To tell this story, we have to start at the beginning, even before the events of the game. A group labeled as the Godseekers hails storms, lightning, and thunder. For some reason, don't ask me. But these things betrayed them, and so they looked for a new god and discovered the Radiance. The main person of the group is just labeled the Godseeker. Many theories have been made, but the leading one is the Godseeker has been sealed by the Pale King due to his obsession with the Radiance, leading us to where we are in the events of the game. In the game, you need a simple key to unlock the Godseeker's coffin. 9 out of 10 times you'll get this final key from the Pale Lurker. The Pale Lurker was once a champion of the Colosseum. From Dream Nail dialogue, the Pale Lurker is obsessed with the Pale King. Okay, so back to the Godseeker. His coffin and hit him with the dream nail, the knight is transported to Godhole. When you get there, there are 5 trials laid before the knight. During the first trial's final boss, you fight the Nail Masters and siblings Oro and Mato. During the second trial's boss, you fight Oro and Mato's third brother, Paintmaster Shio. And during the third trial, you fight their teacher, Nail Sage Fly. If that name sounds familiar, it's the little fly you buy stuff from in Hollowness. This little guy? Yeah, one of the hardest bosses in the game. During the fourth trial, you fight your sibling, the Pure Vessel. This is the fully realized version of the Hollow Knight. The Pure Vessel is commonly regarded as one of the hardest bosses in the game because, well, that's how he was born to be. He's the Pale King's perfect creation, the thing that was meant to seal the infection. After beating the Pure Vessel, you fight Absolute Radiance. Absrat for short. So you fight the damn sun and win. Probably after 1, maybe 2, maybe 43 attempts, but whatever. After beating Absrat, you become the God of Gods, a being made entirely of wood. You confront the Godseeker and destroy him, or her, I don't really know, ending them once and for all. Don't ask me how, but the pure vessel makes its way to Hollow Nest and is about to fight Hornet when it cuts to black. This happens in the Embrace the Void ending. Another name for the God of Gods is the Void Being. This being is one of the strongest things in the story of Hollow Knight. No one really knows what it is, but to my understanding, it's a combination of multiple Void Beings with the same goal. I'm really glad I decided to do this video. I was starting to forget about Hollow Knight, only a little, but this brings an end to all my DLCs and coverage of the game. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for requesting this video so that I could come back to this amazing game. Anyways, with that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye!